Sean Monahan is a partner at AT Kearney. Sean, good to have you here.
Oh, glad to be here.
If you look at a 20 or 30-year chart of the BDI, the Baltic Dry Index, wow, it looks so painful. I mean, this is clearly telling us there's some kind of issue in the global economy. What exactly is it?
Well, I think it's a combination of two things. It's both the global economy, but also it's the classic supply side issue where, I don't think there's any new news. If you look at the Baltic Dry Index, it's largely driven by China, and particularly the imports on iron ore and coal, which are down as you look at their economic slowdown from 8% down to 6%. But really, there's been tremendous capacity growth over the last decade, and I think that's what's really driving it is more the supply side.
That's been Chinese, right? And my understanding is even as you see these prices fall, the Chinese companies haven't slowed down production at all. They keep bringing on supply. Is that true? No,
absolutely. It seems, the intake of new vessels seems to continue to be, moving ahead, continuing to grow. So this is not, we don't expect the index to turn around anytime in the near term. This is a bit of a multi-year play from our perspective.
Who are the big losers here? I know a lot of private equity started buying up ships. There was some big funds that did so. And a lot of the long-term players seem to get back thinking that things looked frothy.
Yeah, I think, again, several years ago, people began to be irrational. They saw the growth and they started to invest. And so from the shipper side, those that are invested in, that have their own vessels are going to be really constrained to either slow down new vessels that they're taking on, as well as maybe idling some existing capacity or taking some things out of the market. But it is those speculators, the people that invested as a financial instrument that I think are really going to be stuck, for quite a while.
Lose money.
Well, yeah, because, Sean, we just talked about oil. I mean, eventually somebody can stop producing oil. The ship's life is, what, 10 to 15 plus years?
Absolutely.
When are we going to see, then, this supply-demand imbalance of these big boats come back into balance?
Yeah, well, I think it's three important different types of ships to look at. So one, you touched on the tanker. The tankers are actually doing fairly well right now. If you look at both the dirty and the clean indices, they're both running relatively flat, and actually a little bit of an uptick the last month or so. So that side is fine. The traditional container side, which is more consumer-driven, it's more China to export, again, seeing similar declines, not quite as dramatic as the Baltic Index, but also in decline, and also due to oversupply from our perspective.
But we came in talking, and Michelle talked about the Baltic Dry Index. Those ships are, if people aren't familiar, I've been on a few of these things. Michelle, you probably have too. They're granular holds. You just dump stuff, fertilizer, corn, soybeans, whatever, in these holds. That's a different type of carrier.
Right.
And so is that at a problem market as well, too? In other words, is the BDI giving us a false read because there's too many darn ships?
I think it's primarily driven by too many ships. Because if you look at it, the demand side, I don't think is any new news. The global economy is fairly kind of stable, growing in certain markets. But it's the supply side which has gotten out of control the last several years, and now it's coming to roost, as in many capital-intensive industries.
Yeah, a record number of idled ships I've been reading, just sitting out there doing nothing at this point. To your point, Brian. Sean, thanks so much. It was great. Sean Monahan with AT Kearney.
Thank you very much.